This is Plant-Based Briefing, the Good On You team's 2022 Sustainable Resolutions by Isobella Wolfe at GoodOnYou.eco. And I'm Marian Erickson, and this is the 10-minute curated content podcast for people interested in a variety of topics on plant-based, vegan, and eco-friendly living. Today's post is from GoodOnYou.eco. They're a group of campaigners, fashion professionals, scientists, writers, and developers who care for our planet, people, and animals, and are helping to drive the whole fashion industry to become more sustainable and fair. They help us understand that we can all play a part in driving fashion to be more sustainable and ethical by choosing to wear clothes from ethical labels and by rewearing, recycling, swapping, and thrifting, and they're the world's leading source for fashion brand ratings. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. The Good On You team's 2022 Sustainable Resolutions by Isobella Wolfe at GoodOnYou.eco. Do you want to minimize your environmental impact in 2022 but don't know where to start? The Good On You team members share their green and sustainable resolutions for the new year. Hands up if you're also asking yourself, how is it 2022 already? The past couple of years have been a blur, with everything from the seemingly unending COVID-19 pandemic to political upheaval and racial justice movements to the growing climate justice movement. If the pandemonium of these times has taught us anything, it's that individual choices make a difference. In the same way that we've used our voices to rally for justice and done our bit to keep our communities safe, many of us are also looking to the choices we make in other areas of our lives. So as we head into the new year, let's check in with the Good On You team for some inspo on sustainable New Year's resolutions for 2022. Reduce single-use packaging. Plastic is a killer, and it's everywhere. While your standard plastic bottle takes about 400 years to break down, other plastic in landfills can take up to 1,000 years to decompose, and that's just one material. Landfills and the environment are full of disposable items that take between 2 to 4 weeks, a paper towel, and 1 million years, a glass bottle, to break down, which is why effective recycling and more reusable products are so crucial to reducing waste and pollution, both on an individual and industrial level. We have to learn to treat waste as a resource, as highlighted by Slow Factory's Landfills as Museums project, linked here. Here are the Good On You team's resolutions regarding reducing single-use packaging. Reduce the single-use plastic in my shopping basket and do more bulk shopping and baking. Also continue switching my personal care and skincare products to refillable, from a content manager in Sydney, Australia. Put my travel mugs and shopping bags in places where I will actually remember them, Ops Manager, Melbourne, Australia. Only gift sustainable presents to friends and family throughout the year, thinking about creative ways for wrapping them, meaning no single-use paper. I also want to minimize disposable products in my bathroom and switch to reusable items. Social Media Manager, Aachen, Germany. Taking eco-friendly fashion to the next level. Consumers are more informed than ever about the impact of fashion on people, the planet, and animals. From shopping secondhand to upcycling fabrics to making your own clothes, to repairing and caring for what you already own, there are a myriad of ways to make sure your closet is doing as little damage as possible. Here are the resolutions. Get more acquainted with local secondhand stores and apps like Depop, only buying new clothes when absolutely necessary. Content Manager, Sydney, Australia. Dive deeper into my upcycling hobby and give more upcycled designs as gifts to friends instead of buying new. Head of Content, London, England. Organize clothing swap events with friends and support more local and sustainable clothing and lifestyle brands. Ratings Analyst, Guatemala City, Guatemala. Have a go at making an item of clothing myself, from sustainable fabric, of course. Ratings Analyst, Manchester, England. Learn how to sew and upcycle my clothing. Content Producer, Miami, USA. And honor my first sustainable fashion muse, my mother. She taught me the basics of always choosing quality, timeless pieces that make you feel special and that can be cared for, repaired, and treasured for a lifetime and even handed down through generations, as I'm now lucky enough to experience. Mum's vintage wardrobe is so precious and so chic. Co-founder, Melbourne, Australia. Investing in our values. Knowing where your money goes and what it is funding is no mean feat. And while people are thinking more than ever about putting their money where their mouth is across industries like fashion and beauty, have you ever stopped to think about your electricity, gas, or internet provider? What about your superannuation or any investments? Ethics and sustainability don't stop on your plate or at your closet door. Here are the resolutions. Take time to learn more about environmental, social, and governance, ESG, impact investing. Ops Manager, Melbourne, Australia. Avoid air travel wherever possible. Head of Content, London, England. Explore green energy and consider switching my electricity provider. Digital Marketing Manager, Montpellier, France. I'm probably going to be buying way more stuff than I'm comfortable with because I'm moving to an empty apartment and I own no home stuff. So as much as possible, I'll be opting for secondhand or DIY building with recycled materials. Head of Product, Toronto, Canada. And buy less on all levels. I want to think about giving more than taking. Content Producer, Miami, USA. Eating more responsibly. Research reveals reducing your meat and dairy intake is the single biggest way to reduce your impact on Earth, not to mention the lives you'll save along the way. If you've been wanting to eat less animals to improve your health and the planet's, why not try to kick off the new year with Meatless Mondays or even Veganuary? Minimizing your food waste by meal prepping and composting are also important steps in curbing the carbon footprint of mealtimes in your household. Here are the resolutions. Find the local farmers market and independent grocery stores to support in my new neighborhood. Head of Content, London, England. Get better at meal planning, buying food grown locally, and start my compost again. Digital Marketing Manager, Montpellier, France. Reduce my takeaway orders, aka do more meal prepping. Social Media Manager, Aachen, Germany. Buy from independent grocers and local farmers and try to avoid plastic-wrapped goods at supermarkets. Head of Tech, Melbourne, Australia. And eat out less to avoid plastic and to-go containers. Content Producer, Miami, USA. Getting into the garden. In a capitalist society, growing your own food is a form of protest. Whether you live in a small apartment or on acres of property, there's nothing quite as rewarding as growing and eating fresh produce throughout the year. Check out this handy list of indoor garden kits linked here to get you started. And here are the resolutions. Grow my own fresh herbs to save buying those wrapped in plastic from supermarkets. I also want to fill my garden with flowers that attract bees and pollinators. Ratings Analyst, Manchester, England. Create a garden of native Australian plants in my small backyard to attract pollinators. Head of Tech, Melbourne, Australia. Start a veggie/herb garden and compost. Ben, Head of Product, Toronto, Canada. And become more regular with my composting. Content Producer, Miami, USA. Staying informed on sustainability. Finally, knowledge is power, as the adage goes, and the more people who are armed with the power to make positive change, the better. Want to learn more about sustainable fashion specifically? Consider enrolling in an online course linked here, reading one or more of these life-changing books linked here, or regularly tuning into a podcast or two linked here. And here are the resolutions. Keep learning about sustainability. Digital Marketing Manager, Montpellier, France. Continue learning about sustainability in business. Ratings Analyst, Guatemala City, Guatemala. Complete my university degree in sustainability. Head of Tech, Melbourne, Australia. And stop, collaborate, and listen. I feel like it's time to slow right down and give more space to hearing and learning from others about how to be more eco-conscious, more inclusive, and more impactful. Co-founder, Melbourne, Australia. We'll leave you with one final sentiment from our co-founder Sandra that is shared by the whole team. Make Good On You available to millions more shoppers, so together we can use our power to make fashion better for our planet and for our future. And with that, Happy New Year! You just listened to the Good On You team's 2022 Sustainable Resolutions by Isobella Wolfe at GoodOnYou.eco. And I'm Marian Erickson, and this is Plant-Based Briefing. And I love this post. It has inspired me to improve my sustainability this year as well. And if gardening is on your list of resolutions, check out episode 16 on the square foot gardening method. And please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.